Thank you all for being here this evening. My name's Ann Woody. I'm the State Director for the Sierra Club, and I am very excited to be here tonight with an extraordinary panel of people talking about an issue that's close to everybody who eats, who breathes, who drinks water. So thank you all. Thanks for taking the time to be here. And again, I'm Ann Woody, and it's my pleasure to start off introducing you to an exciting new coalition of extraordinary organizations that have come together to, as we are saying, restoring the balance to Michigan's farming landscape. The Less Equals More campaign, Less Equals More coalition, has been formed of a wide variety of groups, from animal welfare organizations like the Humane Society of the United States to farms like Beery Farms, the Michigan Farmers Union, and others, to organizations concerned specifically with food safety, including the Center for Food Safety, Food and Water Watch, and environmental groups like our own Sierra Club. And you can see this great list on the screen. If your organization is interested in joining us in our efforts, please let us know. We're encouraging others to join. So what are we here about? We're talking about the unfair playing field that exists today for sustainable agriculture in Michigan, people who are trying to grow livestock sustainably, who are finding that they are competing with our tax dollars that are being used to subsidize dirty, polluting, large-scale animal factories. And in fact, in Michigan, through a report that was released just a month ago called Restoring the Balance to Michigan's Farming Landscape, we've documented that there are millions of dollars that are going in subsidies from the federal Farm Bill to polluting concentrated animal feeding operations. So the numbers tell a real story. There are 50,000 farms in Michigan. A lot of people don't realize how many people are in the business of farming in Michigan. And farming is something that we all depend on and support. Of those, 238 are permitted under state environmental laws and federal environmental laws as concentrated animal feeding operations. That's the wonky name for a factory farm. Of those, 37 were cited for environmental violations from 1996 to 2011, and 26 of those actually paid fines of $1.3 million. And I'll just say that that's actually a small number. We limited the look at those that were cited for unpermitted discharges into waterways and those that had actually been cited and fined. Those 36 concentrated animal feeding operations received $26 million in Farm Bill subsidies between 1996 and 2011. So as we're looking at this issue in a little bit more detail, one of the things that we did was dive into one of the most important programs called the Environmental Quality Incentives Program, which was created actually to encourage conservation practices for farmers throughout the country. And this is a federal program. I want to be clear about this. This is federal funding. What we discovered, and you'll learn more about this later, is that a number of the actual practices that are funded by our Farm Bill tax dollars are actually supporting and encouraging pollution of the water and air. And there are limits on what somebody who's in organic farming can get versus what somebody can get when they're running a concentrated animal feeding operation or factory farm. And we are advocating for restoring the balance. This is a list of some of the issues that we are asking for. The decisions about this are being made here in Lansing by the state conservationists of the Natural Resources Conservation Service. While there are some provisions in the National Federal Farm Bill that also promote these kinds of practices, the decisions about how the funds are spent are made right here in Lansing, and that's why it's important for you to sign this postcard and send it in to the state conservationist Gary Lee and urge him to support what you support, sustainable agriculture. So let me start off our presentation this evening with a real leader in the issue of digging into what's going on in agriculture. Daniel Imhoff is the co-founder of Watershed Media and is an author and farmer. And Dan has published a number of books, including one that you'll see out front that's called the CAFO, The Tragedy of Industrial Animal Factories. And I want to let you know we'll be raffling off copies of this after the program. So if you didn't get your raffle ticket, please go ahead and get that now. Dan will be speaking about the true costs of food produced in factory farms, and will be telling us what he's learned, that we already have the knowledge and means to support a truly sustainable food system in this country. But it's going to take a broad-based citizen movement to make the goals of Less Equals More campaign an everyday reality. And let me take a second here to set up Dan's PowerPoint, but let's welcome Dan Imhoff.